out of here. I kept telling them, you guys are gonna have to carry me out of here. Like, I can't even move. I feel like I was there for probably like 30 minutes, just laid out, stuck. And so a little bit of time goes by, and all of a sudden, the cops show up. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Happy Wednesday. I've been lagging on this story, so let's get into it. This is a fun one. Cheers. This had to be back in like 2010, maybe 11. Back then, as most of you guys know, I was heavily into raving, partying, the Southern California EDM scene, basically. For those who don't know or who were never into that scene, you know, this is gonna bug me if I don't close it. Oh yeah, check it out. Audible484.com. This shit too, guys. These are so fucking tight. $7 for 2 of them. Anyways, enough of that bullshit. So back then there was a lot of different light show crews. There probably still are. I'm just not into it like that anymore. 2 of the most popular ones were called LOL and PM, Lords of Light and Puppet Masters. I knew a shitload of dudes in PM, and for the most part, you know, I didn't hang out with them a lot, but I knew them. I knew a couple of them pretty well. I eventually met this dude from LOL. I don't remember exactly how. I'm pretty sure it was just like on Facebook or something like that. And he was like one of the more popular dudes on there. So yeah, like I said, big light show crews. I remember they had like huge fucking meetups at different events and shit like that. And a lot of them really fucking got down. Like some of them were like so dope, I would just watch from afar and be like in awe. Anyways, so I met one of the dudes from LOL. I forget exactly how. I think it had to do with YouTube. He ended up inviting me to his birthday party. It was around the same area I was at. You guys know I'm super introverted and I normally don't go to parties unless I know like almost every single person there. It's very rare that I go and do shit out of the ordinary like this, but I decided to go. It was me, my brother Daniel, and the homie Daniel Moya, Danny Boy, aka Danny Boy Fresh. Long story short, we ended up going to the party. It's a really dope, cracking ass party. It's actually pretty close to where my dad used to live, which is where I used to live, and it was a really good time. I was actually kind of nervous to go because, like I said, these were like the cool kids, basically, and I was never one of the cool kids ever. So yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking for me, I guess. It's always nerve-wracking going to places that I don't know everybody yet, though, so that's just kind of how I am. Anyways, we're at the party. It's pretty cracking. It's a smaller like house party. You know, it's inside the house and it's in the backyard and in this little side like back garage. So we're drinking. It's a good time. It's really, really fun, good vibe type of party. We are probably there for like an hour or two, if that, and I'm getting pretty drunk. I think at this point we had drinking all the alcohol that we had brought. So, and I didn't really know anybody there like that. I wasn't trying to go around like asking where the beer is and shit like that. It's just, I was never like that type of guy. So I remember I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom and then we'll figure it out. And as I'm waiting in line for the restroom, these 2 dudes in front of me are sniffing a white substance out of a little bag. They weren't doing lines. They weren't doing fat ass bumps. They were doing small bumps. I basically could tell it was ketamine. And I was already drunk and pretty faded at that point, so I was very talkative. So I was like, "Hey, what's up? What is that K?" And maybe I'm tripping. Maybe this is just how I remember it, but I feel like I remember them looking at each other and being like, like, yeah, let's get this fool. So they were like, okay, yeah, you want some? And I was like, fuck yeah, man. And keep in mind, like I said, I was drunk. You're not supposed to mix ketamine with alcohol ever. I mean, there's people who probably do a lot of it and who can do it the right way, but basically the alcohol intensifies the ketamine effect. And ketamine is a tranquilizer. It numbs you. So that's why you don't want to do ketamine and drink alcohol at the same time. It just normally doesn't work out. And this is a perfect example of that. So, like I said, I feel like they did it on purpose. Like they gave me a fat ass bump and I did a fat ass bump. Not just a little fucking, it was fat as fuck. I remember it falling off of the sides of the key. Before I did it, I did think like, damn, I'm drunk. Maybe I shouldn't do this. But like I said, I had no more alcohol. So I was kind of like in a fuck it mood. Like, fuck it, whatever happens. Like, eh. And I was trying to be cool with the cool kids. I did the bump. fat ass bump to the point where it was like took me back. Like, I'm telling you, like, fucking, I had to like calm myself. I remember when I got in the restroom, I had to like just lean on the counter and like look at myself in the mirror, and I was fucked up almost damn near instantly. I walked out back to where we were, which was inside of the little back garage area where all the music was playing and shit. I ran up to Danny and my brother and was like, I just did some K. And they're like, what? We were fucking losers. So yeah, I'm all in a good mood. Like, I start feeling it and like feeling good. Like, I was in a good level. And I remember we were like sitting in chairs. Like, we were in the garage, and there were like kind of chairs surrounding, and then the dance floor in the middle. And I remember we were sitting in chairs, and I started feeling really good. So I stood up, and I was kind of just like bobbing my head, like feeling it. I seen the dude whose birthday it was dancing with some girl, and he was having a good time and shit, right? And I was like, yeah, like I kind of like said, yeah, that's right, man, like blah blah blah. And he was like, so I walked up to him, and he had a juice or a Four Loko. I'm pretty sure it was a juice. They're basically like an energy drink mixed with strong alcohol. This was the last time I ever drank one of those ever. So like I said, he handed it to me. I was like, okay, cool, take a drink. And then he was like, nah, keep it. They were out to get me, guys. These guys were out to get me. They knew what was going to happen. I ended up drinking a couple more drinks. And that was when it got to a point where it was too much. I went back to the chair, and I didn't sit down. I was standing trying to bob my head. Then I realized I was about to throw up. So I sat down in the chair. I leaned over and I threw up a little bit, just like barely anything. At that point, what I did is I stood up again, and I just kicked my throw up underneath the chair that I was sitting in. Now, I'm pretty sure nobody noticed. And that was when shit got dizzy, shit got fucking wild in my head, and I knew I was about to pass out somewhere. I could feel it. From what I remember, I'm pretty sure I told Danny and my brother, like, hey man, we gotta walk over here, like I'm about to fucking throw up or I'm about to pass out. And we walked over kinda to this right in the front of the side gate where the basically like the entrance of the party. Nobody was really going in and out of that gate. I think they had like closed it off at that point because there was loud music, and you know, if cops showed up or whatever. And I end up passing out, like laid out, just stuck. At that point, I remember I wasn't dizzy. I didn't even feel drunk. I was in a fucking K-hole. Like, I legitimately could not move. It was not alcohol induced. I wasn't spinning. I wasn't dizzy. I was just stuck. And I remember talking to Danny and Daniel and telling them, like, I can't move. If something happens, you guys are going to have to fucking carry me out of here. I kept telling them, you guys are going to have to carry me out of here. Like, I can't even move. I feel like I was there for probably like 30 minutes, just laid out, as you can see in this picture, laid out, stuck. Party was going on. A couple people who were there, like, to party. I think one of the homies from PM showed up and was like, what's happened, dog? You already fucked up? It was pretty early in the party. I was like, yeah, just like trying to talk while I'm passed out. And so a little bit of time goes by, and all of a sudden, the cops show up. And like I said, we were right in front of the side gate where it was basically like the entrance and exit to the party. I think the gate was opened up at one point, and they were kind of shining their light in at people. And at that point, I was like, holy fuck, I'm about to go to jail, or I'm about to, I don't know what the fuck was going through my head. I just remember being scared, like, holy fuck. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know how we were going to get home, because I remember we got dropped off there. It was very, very scary because I didn't know what the fuck we were going to do. I think my dad might have even dropped us off. So, you know, the cops are shining their light in, and thank God, eventually they left. The second they left, I got a boost of energy, and I was able to walk out with the help of my brother and my homie. I was leaning on them. I remember walking out, like, stumbling like a motherfucker. And then I fucking saw this chick, Isabel. That was her rave name. She kind of helped a lot, in a sense that she kind of talked to me and like was like, you're good, you just need to like let it like wear off, maybe you need to throw up again. So I was like, all right, fuck it. And I went, and I think the homie had come to pick us up. Yeah, the homie came and picked us up because I called him. I was like calling a bunch of people to try to get him to pick us up. He came to pick us up, and I remember right before we got in his car, I forced myself to throw up. And it wasn't like I had to sit there and like stick my finger down my throat to make myself throw up, and it was like all this dry hacking. No, I literally was just like, okay, I'm gonna throw up now. Threw up like fucking crazy. All this red juice, cranberry, fucking Four Loko shit. And it was not like a regular, like, bleh. It was like The Exorcist fucking throw up everywhere. But right after I threw up, I felt like I was instantly back to normal. I still felt super bomb, but it was like I felt good at that point. And basically that was that. We ended up kicking it, I think, and smoking some weed, and then we went home, and that was the end of the night. Never talked to any of those people again. Not for any negative reasons, but I just never did. And that was the story of when I was in a K-hole in front of the cops. And thank God the cops didn't actually fucking come out and like talk to me and shit, because I would have just told them, hey man, nah, leave me alone. Yeah, so that's a perfect example of why you should not drink alcohol and do K at the same time. Because if I had not been with my brother and Danny, who knows what I could have ended up being in, what situation I could have ended up in, what could have happened, like how much of a fool I would have made of myself. And that's me being a man in that type of situation. Can you imagine if I was a small, pretty girl who was like laid the fuck out on the side of a house at a house party? Like, it's very fucking dangerous shit. So yeah, it was definitely one of the most intense experiences of my life. I'm glad I have that picture to show you guys. Be careful, guys. Be very fucking careful. You can get drug test kits in the description. Very important. Could help save somebody's life. So be very fucking careful, guys, please. But as always, have fun. Be responsible. You guys are the shit. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more psychedelic content. Be sure to check out the merch at audible484.com. It helps so much. Shout out to the Patreon squad. You guys are the shit. You guys can join for only $1 a month if you're interested in that. That's all I'm going to do. No more panhandling. Smoke something, drink something, and I will see you guys very, very soon. I felt like I had something else to say, but nah. Peace out.